Huggy Wuggy was the first terrifying monster we encountered in the Playtime Chapter factory. Everyone initially thought he was just a savage, bloodthirsty doll with no other purpose. However, after his return in Chapter 4, everything changed. People started wondering, will he help us like Kissy Missy did? Or is he an ally of Experiment 6, intent on eliminating us? In this video, I will uncover all the secrets you didn't know about this blue doll, along with his full story and how he came back to life. If Huggy is your favorite doll, and you want him to help us in Chapter 5, like the video now, and subscribe to the channel. Now, without further ado, fasten your seatbelts, and let's begin. Huggy Wuggy was just a simple doll at first, but when the factory failed and couldn't pay its employees, scientists, especially Harley Sawyer, were forced to develop a terrifying program. This program involved turning dolls and children into giant monsters that would work tirelessly in the factory. Huggy Wuggy became the facility's security guard, preventing anyone from approaching Poppy Doll or uncovering the dark secrets of the past. At the end of Chapter 4, we notice that Huggy has lost his left hand and part of his head. Strangely, someone has treated his injuries, wrapping his body in bandages similar to those on Kissy Missy. Does this mean he reached the safe house before us? Or did Doi find him deep in the factory and take him to a doctor to bring him back to life? When Huggy appeared in the laboratory area, he didn't immediately attack us. Instead, he stood still for a short time, observing us, as if something had changed in him. Maybe the person who treated him told him that we were trying to help and were not allied with the prototype. We wanted to defeat it and save the children and dolls. Everyone assumed he was trying to break the door down to attack us. But what if he was actually trying to help? We see that red gas begins spreading in the lab, which would cause us to lose consciousness and make us easy prey for the prototype. However, we managed to drop the prototype into the depths of the factory, where it disappeared. But that's not all. There's something even more terrifying. Even though we saw blood coming from Huggy as he fell and collided with everything in his way, we never saw his body or what happened to him afterward. Unlike Mommy Longlegs, who was crushed in the machine and taken by Experiment 16, or Catnap, who was electrocuted and then captured by the prototype, Huggy's fate remains unknown. In Chapter 2, we find evidence that Huggy was still moving through the ventilation system, leaving behind blue fur and bloodstains. Even in Chapter 4, there are many hints about his return. Before our final confrontation with Doi, we can find audio recordings of Huggy, along with a drawing that matches the one seen in Chapter 3. Many thought the monster that attacked Kissy in Chapter 3 was Huggy Wuggy. Before facing Harley Sawyer, we find a green Huggy doll that has also lost its hand, just like Huggy lost his while attacking, and Kissy Missy lost hers while helping us. But the biggest mystery remains. Who healed Huggy, retrieved his body, and brought him back to life? Could it be Experiment 16, which controls everything? Don't forget that Huggy was part of Playtime Hour, when the prototype began its plan to take over and eliminate the employees. At first, Huggy stood motionless in his usual spot. Then, he suddenly attacked the humans. Considering Huggy's terrible condition in Chapter 4, I am completely certain that he didn't survive on his own. Someone or something helped him. So, let's analyze all the possible characters who could have saved him. 1. Poppy. Poppy is the most mysterious doll in Playtime Co., and we still don't know if she is good or evil. At the start of the game, she helps us escape from the monsters, but she has done things that make us doubt her. She prevented us from leaving the factory and changed the train's course, causing it to crash and nearly kill us. In Chapter 4, We learn that she abandoned the safe house, betrayed Douai and the others, and disappeared for a long time. At the end of the game, she left us with Kissy Missy to face the prototype alone. But Poppy said that Huggy Wuggy was finished, meaning she believes he is dead. Also, she lacks the physical strength and medical skills to heal Huggy or transport him somewhere safe. To her, Huggy was just a servant of Experiment 16, and she wanted to get rid of him. To Experiment 16, the prototype. This terrifying monster collects dead body parts to build itself stronger. It is highly intelligent and extremely dangerous. Given its abilities, it is possible that it retrieved Huggy Wuggy and modified him, incorporating him into its experiments. If this theory is true, Huggy Wuggy has completely changed. He is no longer the same monster from Chapter 1. His body now has human organs emerging from it, hinting that his injuries were far worse than we thought. He might have been torn in half, and whoever helped him managed to stitch him back together in a professional manner. This would require advanced surgical skills. 3. Harley Sawyer. When discussing surgery and medicine, we must mention Harley Sawyer. If you don't know, Harley was once Playtime Co.'s best scientist, but his unpleasant personality led to his dismissal. During his time away, he studied surgery extensively and became highly skilled. Eventually, Playtime Company rehired him to develop large-body experiments. Harley created Huggy Wuggy and knows everything about his structure. However, there's one problem. Harley doesn't have a physical body anymore. He was turned into a supercomputer that controls the factory's security systems, doors, and machines. In one of the recorded tapes, Playtime Combert executives, including Leith Pierre, Stella Graber, and Eddie MNR, decided to get rid of Harley Sawyer because of his dangerous actions. For example, he once set a theater full of people on fire because he was denied a promotion. When investigators discovered he was responsible, Playtime Cozer removed his body and connected his brain to the factory's network, forcing him to continue his work. Despite hating the prototype, Harley collaborates with it. There's a strong possibility that the prototype brought Huggy to the lab, where Harley, using his knowledge, treated him and brought him back to life. So, what do you think of this theory? Will Huggy Wuggy help us in the next chapter? Who do you think saved him? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.